Hi everybody and welcome back to Beetlenees Plays. I'm Beetlenees and I'm back on Train Life, a railway simulator, and carrying on with my more realistic gameplay. So if you haven't seen that first video, it'll be there on the channel somewhere. If you have a little look, I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, but I'm a little bit short-minded when it comes to doing that. Yeah, this is the third one in the series, and I've already set up the job, so we're now at the London Pump Jack, as you can probably see, and we are going to Amsterdam. So if we have a look at the wagons, what we've got, we have actually filled all the wagons up. Well, I'm saying all of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 altogether, filled with oil, crude oil, and we have 3 empty wagons to just deliver to any destination. Basically, it just gives us a little bit more money, so that's what we are doing today. And if we have a look at where Amsterdam is relative to us, if somebody much like myself is not very good at geography, we'll have a look at the map and we will zoom out, and Amsterdam is over here. So we will be opening up a few more places hopefully on the way. We'll see how that goes, but let's get straight on with it. So how's everybody doing? I'm doing fine, fine and dandy today. It's not a bad day weather-wise where we are. It's not quite as bad as on Train Life looking at it. That looks more like typical British weather, I suppose. So anyway, let's get on. So we'll get back in the cabin. And you may notice over there as well, I did mention this at the end of the last video actually, I've put a little cockpit toy onto a little, what they call them, bobbles or whatever you want to call them, on the dashboard there. So it's a free one I got, I think. I was looking at the price of them and they're quite expensive, aren't they? Oops, don't want reverse gear. Mistake straight away. Yes, £30,000 or credits for 40,000, 50,000 just for a bobble. Ridiculous. I don't know whether I went the right way. In fact, actually, I've not even set my route, have I? That's with talking. Let's get over to Amsterdam and get our route set in. In fact, I'm not even sure where we're actually supposed to be heading here. Crude oil to the Amsterdam refinery. Well, yes, I suppose it makes it fairly obvious really, doesn't it? So Amsterdam refinery we want to be going to. So whereabouts is that? That's there. So we need a route to there, please. Thank you very much. And it's going to be quite a long route this, so we'll try and get on with it as quick as we can without too many mistakes, hopefully. Got 50 clicks to go. And we desperately need to... Oh no, we're okay. I was thinking we need to get back on the other side, but it's saying left at the next junction anyway, so just take some throttle off. Now I have, in the background, I have upgraded the train somewhat, or the Loco, so I have improved the engine. We've got a little bit more of everything, a little bit more speed. In fact, actually, it's less top speed, but we have more acceleration and more power. So I went for the acceleration and power. The top speed, carrying cargo around and stuff, doesn't particularly bother me. But the acceleration and the power is what I thought I would go for there. And I've also upgraded the chassis somewhat as well. So we're now down on the money a little bit. We're now down at 163,000. I did repair the Loco as well while I was at the yard there. What speed limit have we got? We've got 120 at the moment, so let's get the speed up. Use some of this extra power we've got. So I did have a look at the jobs that were available, and there didn't seem to be a lot for where I wanted to go. If you remember from the last video, I said I wanted to keep it to the kind of northwestern area of Europe and not kind of venture out too far too soon. So that's what I am trying to do. And I could have gone back to Armine, but I've been going back and forth between there for a couple of times. I didn't want to be doing the same run again, so the only other one really that was staying within the area I wanted to keep within was Amsterdam. So that's the reason I've chosen this particular one. And there was nothing else to pick up either at the moment. There's nothing, there's no goods from any of the other depots or anything, so the oil was the only one that I could get. So again, another reason for doing the task I'm doing. Now somebody did put a comment up regarding the fact that this isn't realistic mode because I have instant production turned on. Now I did answer the person. It really, you know, it's all down to what you want out of the game, isn't it? I didn't want to get bogged down with having to play on the game too much too long, as it were. There are lots and lots of games out there to play, and I didn't want to be making the game too awkward to get anywhere with, if you follow my meaning. So that's the reason I don't think I turned it on anyway. I can't remember back to the first video, but I do seem to recall that I didn't have instant. I did have instant production on purely for that reason. And it's as I pointed out, the game isn't particularly realistic anyway. You can hardly call it a train sim. You know, it's a semi sim, but it's not a full sim, is it? You know, you've got blue lights, for example. I've never seen blue lights on a railway. You have trains on the same side of the track. There's just so many different elements to it. Having to change the direction yourself, you know, that's in the real world. That's all done for you. It's really just a game, isn't it? You know, it's not really. They call it Train Life a railway simulator, but it's not really a full simulator, not in my opinion. And so, you know, for me, having instant production on or off doesn't really make any difference to me. I was trying to make it more realistic from the point of view of trying to keep the trains off my side of the track, for example, when they're coming towards me. Even though you still seem to get red lights, you still have to stop. In fact, I'm going to try that today. If we get a red light with a train coming towards us, even though they're not on our side of the track, I'm going to go through. I think we've got one coming up here now. And just see if I get a fine, because I don't know whether you do or not. But it's worth finding out. So the red light's coming up here. The train shouldn't be on our side of the track because that's how I've set the game up. So let's just see what happens. Yes, I've been fined 1,000, haven't I? So you still get fined for going through the red lights. But you see, the train's over there, so it doesn't really make an awful lot of difference to the gameplay. I think I may just for the flow of the game, I may just go through the red lights if we get any more coming up, for the sake of 1,000. I mean, obviously, if it's happening regularly, I don't want to be losing 10, 15, 20,000 a journey. But if it's just one or two, I don't mind that, just to keep the game flowing. Because you're stopping for absolutely nothing. There's no train on the track. It's absolutely pointless, really. There may, it may occasionally be something round the corner that's changing sides from somewhere or something, but I think that's a rare occurrence, really. So I'm just going to carry on regardless and see how it goes. Now, you can either agree with me or not. You can agree with me, you can agree with the commenter, but that's my take on it. It isn't a real sim. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more realistic, that's all. We ought to have some wipers on, didn't we? Oops. Why did I do that? I sometimes put the handbrake on by mistake. I used to do it to get rid of the comms panel. I'm just so used to having the B button as the back button. You know, you go into a menu and you want to come back out of the menu and you press the B button to come back out, don't you? It's just force of habit. So we've now got the condition down to 92%, which is a bit unfortunate, but there you go. Well, this train is moving on nicely now. It's you can tell the difference. Even though it was only a slight bit more power, acceleration, you can tell the difference a lot. And we've got a full load on here as well. The chassis I chose has got less slippage, so that will help as well. I don't exactly know how that works. If anybody does know, then please drop a comment how a better chassis produces less slippage on the wheels. I'd be interested to know. It's still raining in France then, isn't it? We're coming to the ubiquitous night time. I don't know if anybody plays Fernbus, but just a little bit of news on that, because I've not been on that for quite a while, and the reason for that is because I'm just sick to death of it, to be honest. I'm not sick to death of bus driving necessarily, but just the game. The game started off well. I sung its praises when it first came out, but as time's gone on, it's just got worse and worse and worse. You know, you've got the graphics that won't save. The graphics are worse than they were when the game first came out. It was a lovely 60 FPS when it first came out, at least on a Series X, and it's now shocking. It's terrible. I've seen other people's videos of traffic floating down a little bit like on the road when it first came out. Traffic when it spawns in, and it's just like teeming down from the skies onto the road and things. It's just shocking. And I have been on it since on my own, not intending to do a video or anything. I just thought I'll have a quick look, and I played with it for 10 minutes and I came off again. So and unless they get it sorted out, I'm afraid I won't be doing any more Fernbus videos, because for me it's just a waste of time. But I hope they get it sorted out, because, as I said in the first place, it's a really good game, and it's a shame. It's a shame they don't put more effort into getting it sorted out. And there's been sorry about that. There's been discussion on the internet regarding, on the YouTube regarding, speeding. Regarding whose fault it really is, because you've got different companies doing different things. You have, let's get some permission. We may not need it. better slow down again as well. I'm talking and not concentrating again. Right, that's better. Yeah, you've got different people doing different things. You've got TML that's developing the game, and then you have I think is it a company called Xerox or Zero or something like that that ported the game across. And then you have Aerosoft, which is the publisher. Now some people are saying it's the publisher's fault because they're pushing the ideas onto TML to get the games released, etc., etc. And you know that may be the case. I think they're all to blame in some respect, but the end user is us, and it's just a shit show. It really is, and I just there's so many better games out there, more polished games. Even from smaller studios, to be fair, I just haven't got time for it anymore. And so until they improve it, I shan't be going back on it. I'm sorry if it disappoints anybody. You know, drop a comment. Please drop a comment if you feel strongly the other way or anything, or agree with me, whatever. But that's my take on it at the moment. It's just not. It's not playable. It's as bad now for me as On the Road was when it first came out, and also still is, to be honest. That's another game. Train sims on consoles seem to work well overall. There are some issues, but they seem to work well overall. But nobody can seem to get a bus sim right to me. I don't know what it is about it. Tourist Bus, same company again. Fernbus. Never really liked Bus Simulator. Too cartoony. So it just did that one just didn't seem right to me. But yeah, train sims. You know, this is an half decent game now. It's still got its foibles, as we've said before, but it's an half decent game. Train Sim World, again, it's got its foibles, but it's an half decent game. But bus sims, they can't seem to get their act together to me on consoles. Don't know what it is. We haven't had any animals yet, have we? What we got? 29 kilometres to go. Next speed limit's 110, so well, it's 110 at the moment, actually, isn't it? So just reduce the speed slightly there, or the throttle, I should say. So it's now going to 120 though, so we can get the speed back up again. Let's get a different camera angle. It's like Orion's belt up there in the sky, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look at the train as well. Although we can't see much of it in the dark. There she is, with all the tanks on. Are we going downhill? I think we must be. So we're still at 120 then. I'll just slow down a little bit for the bend there. We're still at 120. It's nice to have a bit of track that you can bat on a little bit without having too many changes. Ah, we have an animal. We have an animal. There's a bit of an incline here. Just slowing down just a little bit there, but you know, this Loco's got enough power now, I think, to deal with that kind of thing. Somebody did suggest, actually, nice little tip. Thanks for the comments. They said putting the brakes on, or handbrake, I can't remember, brakes or handbrake, and accelerating while the brake's on, and then taking the brake off. So if you ever get stuck on an incline, try that method. I don't think it's something I've ever tried before. I mean, it makes sense, but I'm not sure whether I've ever tried that before, so I will remember to give that a go next time. So thanks very much for that. Oops, forgot about that animal. I've been 500 now as well. Never mind, it's only money, isn't it? We'll have a look at what our employee's doing later on as well. I've not had any information up yet as to whether she's finished a job or anything. She's still on that same old run. I can't remember her name now. Like Daria or somebody. Oops! Oh, sugar! Oh! Oh! Bummer! Oh! That was lucky, wasn't it? Oh, dearie me! Have we still got everything on the bike? I can't believe we survived that. Yes, I think they're still there, aren't they? Bloody hell. That put the shits up me then. Dear gads. Right. Took my eye off the ball there for a moment. Just shows you. Never changes, this game. You can't take your eye off the ball for 1 second. I can't believe it didn't derail. I'm sure I didn't turn derail off when I set the game up initially. The thing is, you can't check that, I don't think now anyway. Once you've got the game going, I don't think you can go back and check things. But yeah, I'm sure I didn't set it to... Oh, I've done it again. Going back to that again, pressing B to get rid of the comms panel. Yeah, I'm sure I didn't set the derailments to off. So, but I'm just surprised that it didn't do it. Pleasantly surprised. Right, let's get our eye back on the ball. Making too many mistakes here. Now I did just ask for permission there, even though we're taking the through track, but I always like to, just in case we need to. It doesn't harm anything to ask, but potentially it does if you don't ask. Down at 73% now because I put the handbrake on. So we've got 20 clicks to go. Not doing so bad. Got the point set up ahead. Just have a little look outside, shall we? An 80 limit now. Let's get the speed up. Reckon we'll have a left turn soon, I think. again, let's just request, because I don't trust it. Yep, thought there'd be a left coming up. I always find it slightly more weird on this game, being outside the cabin. I just have this mental thing where I haven't got as much control over the train, even though all the buttons are the same and everything, obviously, but I just feel more in control if I'm actually inside the cabin. Plenty of traffic on the road there. So one thing I wish they had more of in, I hope I've not missed my turn there. One thing I wish they had more of in Train Sim World was the traffic on the roads. It would just add to the atmosphere a little bit. But then they have more moving passengers and things, don't they, on Train Sim World than Train Life, so I suppose it all has to balance out somewhere. More animals coming up. Oops, let's get that speed down a bit. Now, for some reason, it's still saying I'm speeding, aren't I? I haven't got a horn. Why have I not got a horn? Horn's not working for some reason. So I can't toot. Don't know why that is. I couldn't do anything about it. Just hit it, but I've not been fined. So I don't know what was happening there. Must be a little glitch or something. It's definitely the left click, isn't it? Because the right clicks the camera. Sure, the left clicks the horn. Let's just double check. Yeah, left click. Not working for some reason. Well, that's a bummer. Can't frighten any animals off the track. Okay, so we have 15 kilometers to go. We're on the correct track, and although we have an 80 limit coming up, so let's get this speed reduced a little bit. Long sweeping bend. Oh, probably, could we turn the wipers? It's still raining, isn't it? I was just thinking we could turn the wipers off, but I think it's still raining. Oh, 60 coming up in a bit. Let's get the speed down a bit then. We're going uphill. Slow down quite a lot there. Has it actually stopped raining? I think it has. I think it stopped raining. Get the wipers off. So back up to an 80 limit. We will ask permission again. Hello. Oh, I've done it again. Done it again. I'm back into that stupid habit. I was doing this months ago. And I'm still pressing that back button coming out of the comms panel. Can't believe it. Oh. Steady, steady. Yes, I know I'm speeding. Right. Back under control. So we do have a train ahead, but it's not saying any red lights anywhere at the moment. Still no red light, a couple of blue lights, and yeah, another blue light. So the lights are copying what it's saying on the hood. So we're looking like we're good to go. Oh, we've got the horn back. We have the horn back. Sounds well in this tunnel, doesn't it? Like that. Just lost a bit of speed coming out of the tunnel there as we're going up the incline. But we're okay. Still saying broken train ahead, but that's got to be the one we've just passed, surely. And we have a 120 limit coming up in a few hundred metres, which is good. Get some speed back up. Oh, I don't know what that is in the sky. Just up to the left there. Another one there, look, as well. Are they aeroplanes or something? Or shooting stars, don't know. All right, come on, let's get some speed. Although it's back to 70 again soon. Too many junctions around these parts. coming to 120 again. Okay, let's go, let's go. See how long that slippage lasts on 100%. Ah, you see, it's gone off already. It's probably about 4 or 5 seconds on 100% throttle, and then it went off on flattish ground. So yeah, well pleased with that then, that new chassis. It's doing the biz. Not too far to go now then. Thought that was the moon ahead for a moment. It's the cursor, isn't it? Or reticule, whichever. Okay, we're still at 120, still keeping right. Speed's nice and steady. Now more traffic on the road, look down there. I do love it when the railway line is down by the side of the road. I think it looks good. Looks quite realistic, that. Yeah, excellent that. Right, let's start thinking about our speed, because we'll no doubt be having to slow down soon. We've already got a 100 limit coming up, just as I said, and it'll be dropping down even lower than that shortly. Can I contact them yet? Yes, I can.
This is the station. We're prepared to receive you.
Just work on that speed a little bit, because it all starts to come up a little bit too quick if you're not careful. That's nicely down now, that speed. So it is the usual 50. Need to keep left. I think is it left all the way perhaps? Just keep going left, I think, don't we? See the orange track up ahead. And still left. And that's it, job's a good one. we've not done so bad. 69% condition. Just 1 or 2 fines, but not being a bad run at all. So much better. If you've not tried it, it's so much better if you go into the settings before you start a game and have the trains not on the wrong side of the track. It really does improve it, even though you still get red traffic lights occasionally, or signals. It does improve it, I feel. I'm enjoying the game a lot more since I've done that. I think that's the one thing that's improved the game tremendously. So yeah, could well advise you to do that. So let's get the handbrake on. Let's go into the decoupling screen and let's have a look at what we are decoupling. That's them, confirm delivery. Did we actually do that right? Yeah, I think we did. That's it. And now we need them decoupled, confirm delivery, and finish. And there we go. Got 133,000 for that. 2,000 XP. Close all. Got more new parts. Not too far off our next level up as well, in actual fact. Just have a quick look at the at our employee, what they're doing. They're 36% into a journey. Okay, Daria. Yes, I was right. I did say Daria, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. So she's still beavering away. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a comment on anything you like. I usually do reply. And please give the video a thumbs up. It really, really does help with the channel, and it helps it to grow, helps it to get out to other people. So please just give it a thumbs up. That's all I ask. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. Click that notification bell and join the Discord. I'll put a link in the description, and we will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye for now.